Pisces. Looks like you have an incredibly good attitude and you have such grace about you right now. There are challenges and definitely things within relationships that you're having to deal with and having to make choices on. But you are really remarkable in your grace with it. So it talks all about it in your reading. Coming right up. Hello, Pisces. Finally, I get to do Pisces. Finally. It's taken forever. But here we are. It's for mid-November into maybe the first week of December, but the energy is about 2-3 weeks for what comes up through this. But I am excited to come and do sweet Pisces. I like Pisces. I like the energy. It's lovely, very artistic. And I do love that. I am an artist. I don't know if most people know that. Even like the logo and everything you see here, I created for you, my love, to you. Anyway, so Pisces, let's get started with your reading. I really do everything as kind of like a love note to everybody. I don't know if it comes across that way, but I try. Aww, yes, it's true. My favorite card, the Sun card, 19. The most happy, lovely card in the entire deck. Thank you. That's so nice. That's so nice. Okay. All right. Just makes me happy looking at that. Very much so. Okay. So we're going to move forward and look at your cards and see what's going on with Pisces. Oh, there is a reading that I'm supposed to tell everybody about that I did, the November Astrology. Crucial information. I'll put a link below in the details, so you can check it out if you like. It's kind of long, so you might want to put it on while you do chores or what have you. Sometimes it's easy to do that. But the Cazimi, that's the most important thing that it's talking about, is actually at the end of the video. So I don't know if you want to jump forward to that, but all of it's pretty darn important. It's stuff that's going to affect you for the next 2 years with what you're willing to fight for. But you got a double sun. Yes! And everybody, I'm so excited, is much lighter in energy. Fantastic. Makes me so happy. It totally corresponds with what's going on with the planets. And we got through the I don't want to say hard times, but it can be hard, but it's intense times that the eclipses and the Scorpio energy wanted to send us into to really consider some things. Now we're going to take that and we're going to come into joyous energy, and we want to celebrate, and we want to come back into the hope and the progression with all the new information that we got. So let's look at your cards. I'll be right back. So Pisces, your reading is very unique. It is talking about you have a really good attitude, and there's some things that you're observing that you're trying to show grace with and give your opinion upon how you could move forward with creating some things and, resolving some challenges. But it does look like you have definitely been involved with some things that didn't feel great, and some people not always agreeing on things, but you yourself, I just want to commend you for saying you have a really good attitude and you have the light with you. I don't mean to sound corny, but it's like the light of God of grace. You're definitely showing grace in all of these scenarios. So good job on that. Let's talk about some of the things that it talks about, kind of like that's you're going through. Now, the one thing that it talks about is this level of having people that are kind of coming together, and they have disagreements and words that are said, and it's hard for them, for the give and take, to come into a compromise. It's like everybody's on a different page, okay? And you can see that like no one's died here. So like people are having disagreement, but some people are feeling dejected. Some people are feeling like, well, I won that battle, or, but nobody's winning here. And it's because people aren't willing to compromise and to find the balance. And that's something recent in your life. I don't know exactly in what area that is, but it's definitely showing that, because it's also showing that in the past. You have the same card in the past, and it has to do with your support system, the people that support you and love you. And there's a level of disagreements, possibly arguments, and lack of support. So I'm absolutely fascinated by this, because what it's doing is it's sending you forward into the next couple weeks of you having to reflect and make some major transition thoughts. Not necessarily coming through with what you want to do, but transitions and thoughts about what you want to do about all of this. Because some of the energy says that just in the base scenario, there's energies of possible betrayals, hurts that can happen to you that you have to then make decisions upon. And it is also talking about there being an emotional male energetic, someone who carries a very male energetic, that's feeling dispassioned and has to go find his passion or something somewhere else. He's emotional about it, and he's having to go somewhere. I don't know if that's you or someone in your life, but so there's out of sorts, and there's a disruption of your life, but yet somehow it just said you have the grace of God still like with you, supporting you. I don't know if it's like your angels or guides or something still loving you and supporting you through going through observing this, watching this scenario, and trying to come forward with the best possible outcome. And because it does say that there's a level of within your environment of trying to give and be lovely in that soft, gentle side. It's sometimes 19 Kerbal. It's sometimes actions of others and taking a beating and not knowing who you can trust anymore, especially between two that had a very soft and gentle love relationship. What type of relationship, I'm not sure. It could be, but you would know. It's between you and people that you care about. These aren't just people that strangers or anything. These are people within like your unit, your core, your family, who you consider to be family. And so there's a level of going into the future where there's going to be judgment, and it's the judgment card, and it's actually coming through as judgment. Levels of judgment, and it has to happen within, once again, it's sort of like this core group of family. And I'm wondering what that's about. I'm wondering, why are there these sort of disagreements? So one might say arguments, disagreements, and people not being on the same page. Hi, Romeo. But this you're handling well, and it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride. You're definitely going into your meditative state to try to be your best self and come forward with the best you can do. I mean, all you can do is be the best yourself and try to compromise, negotiate, talk about things, even when others are in a totally disrupted state. But that you care about them, so that you're willing to do what it takes to try to have some level of resolve. And, the closer people are to us, you want to have resolve. You're hoping for it. And so there's a lot of thought going into that right now. There's a lot of decision makings. And one thing that it's talking about is you, with going through some of the things, become a new person. There's a growing up that happens within levels of thinking of stuff like this, and choices that have to be made. And you're hoping that even though those choices might be hard, that you make the best choices for the best version of yourself. You really do have to. It's interesting because even though I can sense that you've had to deal with some challenges within, definitely within relationships, the energy going back and forth, you're really, really handling it well. I mean, the grace is quite remarkable. So moving forward, it does talk about if there's sort of a dissolution in a partnership, or something that's not harmonious. It looks like your angels and guides are definitely going to be with you to give you the information and the understanding that you need with it. Fascinating. You're definitely, you're being supported right now from higher powers. No, that sounds corny, but it's like what your cards are talking about. And sometimes you need that when you're going through some things that other people are doing that you don't really have control over. So sometimes there's lovely energies that come through and are with you so that you can also hold the grace. And I think this reading is utterly fascinating. So I'm quite curious on these challenges that you're kind of handling coming from other people. But you're doing a really good job of it. And it does look like there is going to be more judgment and more choices, and there's definitely going to be levels of loss, and then moving forward with understanding the levels of loss. Sometimes when certain things happen, there's just a loss. Sometimes relationships or some things will never quite be the same. So what do we want to do moving forward, or what does that look like, and who am I as a new person, or you, and whether it be love relationships or friendships or family, you're definitely going to, the main thing, you're definitely going to have the grace of your angels with you to try to see and continue through this. And it does say they're going to stay with you the whole time. Okay, that's the main vibration that I want to get across from this, the most important vibration. So give me a moment, we'll come right back for the wrap up. Just a quick reminder to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. This will give you a feel for which energetic you're possibly experiencing right now. And if you would like a detailed personal reading, you can book a reading at ctgtarot.com. And thank you for subscribing and clicking the like button. The kitties and I are very grateful. Okay, Pisces, so let's go through just like the key words that the cards talk about. It talks about you're in a really good positioning with your attitude, within your grace, within the information that you're receiving and trying to manifest. You do have people or situations in your life that are not congruent, like people are not being able to agree upon their thoughts or their words, and there's kind of been a hard trying to balance out the compromise of the give and take in the situation. It's definitely was in your past. It's something that's kind of you're thinking about now, and it does say in the baseline of this there was some sadness, some could be at a level of a betrayal, but definitely kind of hurt. And you're trying to make decisions based upon what you want to do now. It's also sending you into a new part of you, and a new from going through these experiences, and you're in the hopes of making good decisions, even though they're hard to make. You have this gentle loveliness about you, even though you've been taking some beatings and not knowing what or who to kind of trust, but you're still moving forward with the best energies. There is a gentleman, whether it be you or somebody else, somebody, a male figure, that's having to leave in their sadness, and he just has his passions, and he has to go find where, he's not finding his feelings and emotions in this scenario. So I don't know who that is, but moving forward, you're definitely going to be put into the hangman position where you're going even deeper into thinking about this, how it really affects your life as a whole and you as a person, and how you want to think about it, and then then the decisions you're going to make after having this reflection and moving forward. And it does say that there is sort of like a male figure that's really quite someone who's in their mind that is having a hard time with it, whether that be you or somebody else. But it's even someone who could not control their thoughts a bit within this scenario, and might say biting words a little bit. So that might come forward in the next couple of weeks. It does say that in the future that there is going to be judgments made upon someone or something within your family or who you consider to be family unit. And you still have the best attitude and grace about it, and you're probably one of the best things that are happening in this scenario. You're taking, I sure hope you are, I don't know, but you're taking the rest that you need. You need to continue to have grace in this scenario and be the best you. It does say that your angels are going to stay with you the whole entire time during this to help you through figuring out what you want to do, because there is going to be a level of a sort of a loss and how to move forward within partnerships and types of things where for some of you there can be a dissolution with a hi Romeo, with the type of a partnership that now no longer is going to be the same, and it has to be reconfigured, or not at all. But it's going to be obvious, and it still will be a level of gentle. There's not a lot of aggression in this reading, but there's still energetics of big change and possibly other people bringing forth this, which is making you have to make decisions. And okay, it looks like you have the support from higher powers and surrounding you to help you through all of this. Very fascinating. So also you want to consider that this is the possibility of being able to make karmic decisions in a positive way to move forward within these relationships. And so it's all based upon what you choose, how you choose to handle it. And I think you're really being guided and supported so that you can make choices that don't come back into karmic debt where you have to kind of relive or revisit. It's sometimes letting, also too, I get this thing for some of you, it's being willing to let someone or something go. It's fascinating, utterly fascinating. But you are showing great amounts of grace within all of this and have the best attitude. So, Pisces, as lovely as can be, and I'm quite impressed. Keep going. I wish you the best with all of that and figuring it out and moving forward as the best you. Okay? All right. See you in your next reading. Mush mush.